Good evening, wherever you are in the world. Good evening, good day, good morning. Giancarlo here, along with Giuseppe. No Oscar casting couch tonight. What's the excuse tonight? I forgot.
He went out with his parents for dinner. He said he's going to be a little late. He's not going to be here. He may show up whenever he's done.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
When we talk, probably go past an hour. He'll probably show up.
He'll definitely show up. We already got two people watching, so yeah. It's not just they're not just watching for Oscar; they're watching for us. So
yeah, I'm telling you, people probably started thinking like these guys only talk to complain about Milan. Maybe because they won, they're not going to show up.
Where's Oscar? This is bullshit. Yeah, fucking Vito. Vito's one of the reasons why I'm late. Guys texting me.
Oh, fucking Vito.
Anyway, so obviously, it seems to be a little bit of a different tone today. A little more positive, and it's not like a fake positive. I think today was a good day. Pepe, I'll let you kind of start off with your opinions on today's result.
Today you can ask for more. It was a little scary after everybody scored that 2-1 goal, but you know what? They've shown resilience, and you know what? Just continue from there. Now we're just gonna pray to God that nothing happens during the international break. And I'm obviously very happy. After the 2-1, I swear to God, I thought that we were actually going to lose.
Well, you took my thunder away because I was about my follow-up question to you was going to be like, let's be honest here. After the 2-1, I know you thought the game was done.
Oh, I thought so. I said, okay, so here we go. Look, Ribéry again. Ribéry, when he sees us, I don't understand what it is.
He turns into the Ribéry of 10 years ago.
Oh my God!
Or the Ribéry that slept with the prostitute.
But when we saw Ibra score that goal, I said, you know what? Maybe this is you just cannot. You always shake your head. You go, this guy, no matter what,
he's amazing.
Always. It's like how do you get rid of him? How do you take him out? And then you start wondering. Imagine this month that he hasn't been here. We play so lousy. What would have happened if? And I hate being the type of person that what if. But you wonder because all the injuries, and then he shows up and he almost scored a second one when he hit the Curva. Like he just does things, and that's the thing. You see how even in the interview they were asking him about the national team, and he goes, "Well, what rest?" He said, "I'm not gonna rest. I'm gonna go play for my national team." But he sounded very happy, confident. I love when he's confident. Sometimes I get scared when he gets too confident because he pushes his limits too much, and that's what makes him get hurt. That's what's been making him get hurt. He doesn't realize in his mind he keeps saying, "I'm Benjamin Button. I'm getting younger. I'm not getting older." And the problem is, yes, in your head you may get younger. Your body doesn't say that, so just be careful. I hope he doesn't play all 3 games, 90 minutes.
No, they took him out early today, right? So, that was a good move in the end. 15 goals at 39 years old in Serie A. Is that all competitions or is that just Serie A?
I think it was Serie A. I think it's 16 though. I think it was 15 going in. I could be wrong though.
I don't know. I heard the ESPN announcer. He said 15, but I wasn't sure if it was all competitions. Coppa Italia and.
I don't even think he played Coppa Italia.
He didn't at all?
I don't think so.
I didn't watch all the Coppa Italia games. I thought maybe he may have played like one. Mm-hmm. Anyway. But no, listen, for me, I was like you too. I didn't think we were going to win. After that, the way Fiorentina took the lead, I got a little, skeptical. Just, it starts playing in your mind what people are saying about Pioli and, eventually it's going to, the real Pioli is going to come out in reference to, formations, making mistakes, things like that. And then all the injuries, we've seen this before. We've talked about this ad nauseum, about injuries and how they've affected us over the years and kept us from, let's say, taking that next step. So I honestly was a little bit negative. I didn't think we were going to pull it through. And honestly, I was more than elated, man. I was pretty loud here today.
When we scored that third goal. In the beginning of the game, I'm in a different group with people from Italy, and they were asking us, you know what, all fun and games, but I think today they'll pull it off. Just because I feel like after all that happened, 2 losses in a row, I think they'll manage to pull it off. Maybe Ibra does something. I didn't think he was going to score and do what he did. But I say, you know what? Maybe this team shows that, when we're thinking we're going to lose, let me think of the opposite. I think they're actually going to go and win. 1-0 up. So good. Beautiful.
Who do you think, aside from Ibra, I mean, I know who I'm going to say, but who was the difference maker today for us?
Tomori.
Tomori, okay.
Tomori, oh my God. I mean, Bennacer coming back.
Hey, that was mine. You got to freaking get two. Hey, you only get one.
Bennacer coming back, but I just had to put Tomori. It needs to get, there is no question about it. If I think it's 28 million to get him the option.
Is that already
35 million? I don't care.
That's a set option already, right? They can't say, okay, now because he's played so well, we're going to increase it to 40.
I could be wrong, but I always remember it was 28 million.
Yeah, somebody said it today, and Gardy, one of my friends, he said that in the chat today. He said that 28 million is looking really good right now, looking really cheap.
I'll give him 40.
Of course, the guy's amazing.
I don't care. I mean,
he's probably been one of our best players in the last.
I'll tell you one thing. The way I saw, maybe I'm exaggerating, and I usually don't like to be the one to give high praises because I bash people for doing that with other people. But this guy, in the short amount of time, I haven't seen a player like that play for us in defense since Thiago Silva.
Yeah, no, I agree.
He's been in the player, he's showing things that, you cannot deny this guy. I mean, you see what I mean? When somebody's good, you see him right off the bat.
You do. No, you're right. And it doesn't – that's a great point. It doesn't – I mean, there's always specific circumstances that sometimes a great player can be slow to start somewhere. Sure. I agree with you on that. I think overall, a lot of people say, oh, it wasn't the right situation for him, wasn't the right fit. If you're a great player, man, after a couple of weeks, if you're still struggling and there's no real reason, outside noise that's really affecting you, then maybe you're not the greatest player. You just had you had a bad moment within that time you were with this team.
And I mean, granted, I want to give somebody, for example, like Tonali, I want to give him another year. I'm usually very short with the patience, and I understand what people are giving up on him, given the fact that, they'll say, oh, look, we're going to spend 28 million for Tomori, which deserves it. Meanwhile, we spend over 30 million for Tonali. We get nothing back. No, I want to give Tonali one more chance, as far as one more season. Then after that, I mean, if it's the same shit, I mean, then you gotta cut your loss.
He seems a bit lost out there,
Yeah, I don't
know. He doesn't seem like he just doesn't seem well adapted at all. He seems like he's a foreign player from another country that's getting used to playing in the Italian game. It doesn't feel like he's played in the Italian game before. I know maybe Pioli's system is unique to him, right? Maybe he's not used to it, but still, it doesn't feel like he knows. I don't know. He doesn't seem very confident out there, and he does these stupid fouls sometimes, right? And usually that's when a player makes these stupid fouls is because they're lacking in confidence, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time.
But I mean, for me, back to the result. I mean, I was just I was pretty ecstatic. I mean.
Game. It was
we needed to win this, bar none. And Bennacer was my choice in, aside from Ibra, player of the game. I mean, you saw, having him back was just huge. I mean, the midfield just seemed different. It seemed to flow differently. And listen, Kessie, he didn't have his greatest game, but there was less pressure on him today too, right?
And he can't be great every single. I mean, he can't.
I mean, the guy, he's like a workhorse. He's like, I mean, I don't know if any baseball fans out there, but he's like Cal Ripken Jr. The guy's he's like the Iron Man, and he's such a hard worker. And I mean, he's grown. So we talked about it, but he's grown so much, man.
I said this before. I think this becomes a different season.
Yeah, I think you said this last year too when we were on our winning streak. Actually, I remember you saying
it becomes a different season. Sometimes because they're so young, with the exception of Ibra. Ibra feeds off the crowd.
Yeah,
player like Theo Hernandez maybe doesn't. Don't forget on social media that we bash his girlfriend on social media.
Girlfriend.
But you know what I mean? I see the comments. I mean, the moment
I just don't. I think she's got a little bit too many tattoos. I have nothing against tattoos, but she's gone another level with those tattoos.
Yeah, but the point is
here.
everywhere. But the point is, the moment there was a bad game, it comes to a point that I pay attention that they limit the comments on some of her things because she probably gets nasty. She's gonna have to like block people and stuff like that. There's people that's the way they are.
People knock her when he has a bad game.
Like you better fucking relax. You better take it easy with there. This and oh,
really? I guess I don't follow her. I don't follow her.
Italy, when it comes to soccer, believe me, they'll fucking.
No, I mean I know, but I just didn't think they were going after his girlfriend.
Oh, they have, believe me, and a lot of times sometimes they block people. That's the same, they're all, everybody's crazy. Imagine to go there and be like, you better, whatever you're doing, you're sucking on drugs, stuff like that. He has no legs. It's your fault. He's got no legs. He played like shit today, this and that.
Well, yeah, you know what though? They used to do this to La Sata un po', right? With Boateng. Yeah, I know. But I mean, they did. But that was more. I don't know. It was different. Maybe I don't think it was as bad with Boateng and as you're describing. I mean, at least I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But like we were talking about the game itself. Dale looked better. He looked a little bit better out there. What do you think?
My focus now is, I looked at the schedule and I said, okay, now show me what he do against Sampdoria.
Yeah, of course. You got to win.
Yeah, he doesn't. Now this is my thing. I'm happy. Yes, I'm happy, this and that. But, people, that's the thing. I don't want to rain on nobody's parade. I'm happy about today. But now let's have a short memory. Let's take today and put it aside.
Yeah.
Now, now you got 2 weeks to simmer into whatever because you got the national team. But you want to see continuity because what happens if you win that game against Fiorentina and then you go and you lay an egg against Sampdoria? The problem these last 2 months has been continuity.
Yeah, we know.
I'm happy. I'm happy that you win. I'm not people. Some people think like I show up here. Oh my God, look at him. He doesn't look as hype. What? Because we lost? Because we won? No, because I'm happy, but I'm stepping on eggshells. I'm being careful. I don't want to fall into the trap that everybody falls. And yes, I have seen people say, "Oh, but look, now we're only 6 points away from Inter, and you've lost." So okay, why are you looking at Inter?
We have a game in hand.
Exactly. That's my point. Why you look at Inter? So
I'm not looking above. I'm not looking above us anymore.
Hey, just what? And that's what I was looking at. I was looking at the standings. Today I got a little curious. So I started doing my homework. I looked at the standings from the year that we won the Scudetto up until this season. Every year I went to look at the fourth place team, the points that they had. I mean, granted they fluctuated, but they went between 65 and 78. So the reason why I looked at this was I want to know, for us to have like that, like usually they say 40 points is salvation. So I think this year, maybe it's going to be more, but I think this year the average will be 75 points to lock up Champions League.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
We got 59 right now. So that means, we got 16 points to go.
How many games left? 10? 9?
Left. I think it is double. I think it is 10. I think
it's 10. Yeah, I think it's 10.
Maybe it's 10. I can tell you right now because
somebody
look at. That's one thing I look at, and it's
one of our friends over here will comment on that. Don't worry about it. We got a nice amount of people watching, so
we got Sampdoria, Parma, Genoa, Sassuolo, Lazio, Benevento, Juve, Torino, Cagliari, and Atalanta. That's 10 games.
Yeah, 11. I mean, that Juventus game could turn out to be very interesting.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. Though. All I know is please make sure you lock Champions League before the last game of the year.
Yeah.
Last game of the year.
Juventus is second to last, Pepe?
Third to last. Actually, fourth to last, maybe. Because
I want listen. I would like to lock it in before, but if we could lock it in that day,
I'll tell you one thing: if you got to go to Bergamo and potentially play Atalanta for a spot in the Champions League, they'll probably be in that spot too. Oh my God! I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if we could do that.
I'm just dreaming here, but if we could somehow have that Juventus game be the game that keeps officially qualifies us,
we'll love it.
Officially eliminates them. It's the game that Pirlo gets fired. Oh, wouldn't that be beautiful, right?
Awesome. I don't think Juventus getting out of the top 4.
But let me ask you what you think, and we'll talk about Juventus in a second. But you think Pirlo's going to? I mean, he'll survive the season, but I mean, he's gone. They're not going to bring him back next year, right? Juve, what do you think?
No, it all depends who's available next year.
They're going to try to go for Guardiola, I think. Juve.
If Guardiola wants to really go, Guardiola won the Champions League this year. Then maybe Guardiola says, "I did what I had to do," and he goes. Yeah. He's always said he wants to go to Serie A.
He does. I mean, and it's always been that rumor that he's pretty much. He's not a rumor. I think he's kind of said it. Like he likes AC Milan. He's always had a little bit of a soft spot for Milan.
But then if he doesn't win the Champions League, I don't think he's going to go anywhere because it's almost 100% for me that Messi ends up in Manchester City, just because everything falls into place. Aguero's there, Guardiola's there.
Yeah,
he doesn't really have to go anywhere that's like crazy, that's going to revolutionize his way of playing. Yes, he's going to England. He's never been anywhere else but Spain before. But once he goes to England, he finds his old coach is going to make him play exactly how he played in Barcelona.
The only reason I mentioned this because there's a few Juventini, last summer, they were it was last summer or 2 summers ago, I can't remember. Before Sarri, yeah, so 2 summers ago. They were talking about how, Guardiola was going to come. He was the big secret.
They were 100%. Yeah. They were convinced.
I know.
Because
that guy Charlie was from the group. He was always talking about it. Oh, I've heard from sources in Torino. That's it. It's Guardiola. And then they did that face app of Guardiola and Sarri.
Yeah.
It looked a lot more like Sarri.
What the problem is when you heard in the beginning the rumors of Ronaldo, you thought it was a fantasy. Then when they got it. In their mind, they go like, okay, nothing is impossible anymore. So they were in that mode. It's like, okay, he's coming. And I watched today. I watched Sky Calcio Club after the Roma Napoli game.
Yeah,
Allegri was on, and Allegri's is the first time he's been in TV as a guest somewhere in a year and a half since he's been the coach.
I asked about him the other day. What's up with him?
He was taking it easy. That's it. But it was fun to actually listen to because he's a very likable guy, I think. He's not like he's a fun guy. He's a typical Toscanaccio that he is. But
I met him twice. He's got a weird handshake. He's got he's sweaty palms. He's got sweaty palms, dude. He's maybe it was the New Jersey humidity, but I don't think so. Because Remo met him too at Milanello. Like I don't know how many years ago.
Same thing.
He said the same thing. He had sweaty palms.
But he said they were talking about like how they were saying like comparisons between the players that he's coached and this and that in Juve and what actually happened, all the situation. And he actually said, I coached in 2 stadiums that were very, very tough to coach in. He said, but I'll be honest to you, coaching in the San Siro is
sorry. That's funny, my Maurizio. Yeah, dead fish handshake, 100%.
Coaching in the San Siro, he says, it was a lot tougher. I think it was heavier than Torino because in Torino they're so used to, how do you call it? Like they say a scudetto in Torino is not worth a scudetto in Rome or a scudetto in Naples, because they're so used to it. And so, I mean. But it felt good to he was talking a lot of stuff about Milan that I think I never heard him say. He even says when he put Seedorf in the bench a couple of games, nobody ever put me on the bench for 2 games in a row. It's like, get ready because you're gonna be on the bench at 3. It's such a ball break. It was like fun things. They were talking about Nesta. They were talking about all these players and even the whole situation with all the Italian teams being out of Europe except for Roma. So he said, what's the matter? What's the problem? This and that. It's like, well, the problem is, you want kids to be involved into not just in Primavera, in the seasons, this and that. That's why what Juve did was perfect. They did the under-23 team in Serie C. And Marchigiani answered to him, he's like, yeah, but I don't understand. Why was Juve the only ones to do it? So that I can answer. I don't know why the other teams. They all have the same problem. They all want to grow the youth system, and then the only one that actually went ahead and did it was Juve.
True. We talked about it forever, right? We used to call it the fake youth movement. Remember?
Yeah.
I mean, how many years have we been doing this? Like, we finally believed it with Elliott, right? Because Gazidis has a track record for doing this, right? That's what he's known for. He did it at Arsenal, right? So we believed it really when they said they were going to do it. But Galliani, how many times did he say he was going to do this youth movement? Berlusconi too. Oh yeah, the youth and this and that, right?
Yeah, but to be honest, I'm not gonna. At the end of the day, when you really think about it, everybody cries about youth, this and that. It's tough to do youth in Italy because nobody's got patience.
Well, yeah.
They all want to win right away. They all say, oh, it's nice, he joined, and then the moment they have.
That's just cultural, but that's cultural. That's and you're right, and that goes not only for soccer. Look at politics in Italy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing in business too. Everything. Same thing.
Same people. It's annoying. I mean, because then look what happens. You have a guy like Ibrahimovic that comes in and basically revolutionizes the team. I understand that this team has won without Ibrahimovic, but when he's on the field or when he's whatever,
his presence speaks for itself.
Which is scary because you say to yourself, next year you're gonna have to renew this guy, but you're gonna have to renew him. You're still gonna get. You need more than just Mandzukic or Rebic. You need a big presence there with him.
I mean, if we go to the champion, you know who I want. I keep talking about it.
I know. Listen, I wish from your lips to God's ears.
We had. You know what pisses me off? I did a little research because I remember that there was rumors when he was at Red Bull that we were in for him, Haaland. There was a rumor because of Rangnick coming, right? Potentially him coming.
Yeah, he was with them.
I forgot about that, and when I looked it up, I found the article. It was from like 2019. And it was talking about how we were interested in him because we had been interested in Rangnick for a while, right? I mean, it wasn't like something just recent.
I can't see though how this player.
Not now. I mean, Borussia bought him, right? Borussia bought him from.
They bought him, but he's got a clause.
He got a 28. He's got a $30 million. I think it's $30 million unless they raised it.
No, I think it's 70.
Now it's 70. Okay, it was $30 million before. Sorry, it was the original.
If it was 30 million, he'd be gone.
I'm sorry. The original clause was $30 million.
Yeah.
In 2019, obviously it's gone up because
70 is perfect. I would take the 70.
He's amazing.
Oh, 75. Yeah, Maurice saying 75.
He's you know what I like about him? I mean, he's young, right? And I've seen him a handful of times, but he's got he's very, to me, he's similar to an Ibra because he's the stature, right? He's got a confidence about him that's very different. You can just tell. Like there's an aura with him. Like he does certain things that Ibra does, like that freaking bicycle kick goal that he scored a couple of weeks ago, or was it last week or 2 weeks ago, right? That's Ibra style stuff. Like have the balls to do that.
You can't stop him. The guy, like if you're in the box, a guy like that, you can't stop him.
He's fast. He's strong, like you said. You can't, but he's fast too.
No, yeah, he's very fast. I
mean, I know that was like a youth game, but if you ever get the chance to watch the highlights of how he single-handedly destroyed
Honduras,
it was insane how he just destroyed Honduras. And Honduras, I mean, listen, I know it's a juvenile team, but they're Central American team, CONCACAF. They're one of the better teams. They've always have been, right? They don't. It's not like they produce. It's not like you're playing the Faroe Islands.
No.
And the kid's proven it. I mean, at Borussia, he proved it at Red Bull.
You remember who used to play for Honduras? Was a very famous player that played in the Serie. Let's see if you remember.
Yeah, he played for Inter. What was his name?
He played for Inter, but he was more famously known for Cagliari.
Casso, I forgot his name. What was his name? Shit.
Suazo.
No, Suazo.
Suazo.
I don't know how that just came to me.
Suazo. He was a good player. He was a fucking bomber for Cagliari. It was like, I don't know.
Where did he go after Inter?
I think he went either Portugal or France. I forgot what.
He was a good player. He didn't play well with Inter, though.
He went to Inter. Yeah. He was supposed to go to Milan, too. But at the last minute, he ended up switching up and he went over there. Same with Nesta. Nesta was supposed to go to Inter for the whole summer.
I remember that.
Inter, and then at the last swoop, we took him. Thank God we did. So, but, I mean, 75 points. Let's see if we could do it. We got 11 games left. That's how many points? 11 times 3, it's 33 points. 33.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we don't have a big margin for error.
No, we don't.
A lot of points, but
I mean, all those games are very winnable.
yeah.
I mean, Juventus, obviously, whatever. But, I mean, every other, Sassuolo, we've always had a little bit of an issue with. But for the most part, we should win every single game. We could win every single game. Not should.
I wanted to get to a point because then you also have some teams that are fighting for relegation towards the end.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Those teams, even though they're on the bottom of the standings, those teams are dangerous because those teams, when they fight for their lives, it's tough. I mean, you look at Crotone. That game was crazy too. 2-0.
Yeah.
And then in the 77th minute, they came back. They said they're coming back. They scored 3 goals in about 10 minutes. And Bologna, what was it? Bologna,
Yeah, it was Bologna.
Bologna. They won the game. It was good. I feel bad for Cosmi, but Crotone doesn't deserve to stay in.
No. I mean, listen, it was a nice story. It was like Castelli Sangro.
They never went to say
Crotone. Well, Benevento's a nice story, though. I mean, talking about obscure.
Benevento's also going to go down in the record books as one of the most dominant teams to ever come out of Serie B.
Yeah, you're right.
Points and just the margin. I think it was like 26 or 28 point margin.
Yeah.
To them in the second place team. Like they could have told everybody, so listen, you guys want to shut us down for COVID? We'll forfeit the rest of the games. They still would have made the Serie A. They didn't have to come back.
Yeah.
That team was just amazing. I think the only team that did anything better than that was probably there was another team that did a little bit better than that. And I think Juve was very close to them because when Juve wasn't there,
it's nice to see for Inzaghi, right?
Oh, yeah. Especially because he sticks it to Juve once again.
And you saw him celebrating today, right?
Yeah, sure.
That was like I got the chills because it reminded me of one of his celebrations.
And he's crazy. He could be playing a pickup game.
Yeah.
Kids, they always celebrate like that. He's crazy.
Wasn't there a commercial in Italy of him I forgot, it was a bank commercial or something where he was celebrating at every stop that he was at.
Well, I don't remember. I remember a Pepsi commercial when he was playing for Juve. Him and Beckham. They kept.
I don't remember this one. It was in Italy.
It was in Italy, and they had basically the sport referee trying to buy a Pepsi. Puts the quarters puts whatever it was in the machine, the coins, and Beckham comes in, drinks, thanks, man. Puts another one. So okay, puts another one. Again, here comes Inzaghi. Grazie. And he takes the Pepsi too, right before the game. Finally, does this, puts the coins, takes his Pepsi, takes a sip, he sighs. He goes in to the match. They have to do the coin toss. So he's like, yeah, nothing. So they're playing rock, paper, scissors to see who's going to go. So you see Inzaghi like this. Rock, paper, scissors. He loses. It's a funny commercial.
It is funny.
1998, 99, around those times. Well, that's when he was there. In your,
he was at Juve. Was it the Danone jerseys, no? Was it Danone? Or Dele Più. I was going to say Dele Più. The only Juve jersey I liked with the sponsor was the mini disc. Sony mini disc.
Oh, mini disc. I remember that. The Juve logo was right here.
Because the mini disc was like a complete bomb. Nobody used. I don't think in the U.S. I don't think anybody used the mini disc. Maybe very, very little. In Europe, it caught on for a little bit and then it just disappeered. So they're just cool to see. What?
You remember the Walkmans back then?
Of course, man. Yeah.
I remember my uncle smoked, so he had the points from Marlboro, and that's what I wanted. The yellow black fucking thing.
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing in the world. You put your CD there, you walk and go. Like, God forbid you hold it the wrong way or you're running with it, the thing started skipping. Then we got iPods, and then now we just stream things over the phone.
Yeah, now it's different. It's we've evolved since then. Yeah. But back to Juve, because I want to I just moved the camera there. It just obviously that was satisfying for us. Obviously to keep them. Obviously it's Juve, so we always want to make sure they lose. But it was also very satisfying that they're now a little further back, even though we also still have a game in hand on them too.
Yeah, still have a given hand. And I like my chances playing against Juve now. Although I don't like my chances the way our form is as of yet. I would like to see us maybe by then we get our form the way we had it before, like get a few.
Do you think we will? I mean, because now, like, Rebic is at another game, right?
Yeah, I gotta see. I gotta see at least 3 wins in a row. At the very.
But what do you think? I mean, do you think it's possible? Because we have Bennacer is back.
Sampdoria, Sampdoria. I think we could be Sampdoria. There's no reason why a second place team like us, if we really want to say that we belong in second place, there's no reason why we should fear Sampdoria.
No, we shouldn't fear them, but we lay eggs sometimes, like you said.
Yeah.
No continuity, consistency has been an issue.
Look, after Sampdoria, we got Parma, then home against Genoa and Sassuolo, and then we go to Rome to play Lazio, and then we got Benevento after that, and that's right before Juve. So it seems like they're all winnable games, but
that's what I said earlier. They're all very winnable.
No, I know they seem like they're winnable games, but then when we go there, I don't know about you, but like I lose months out of my life every 90 minutes that I watch with this team because it's not easy stuff. I think it was worse though when we were in first place and we were trying not to have anybody pass us. Now the pressure is a little bit off. But
the pressure's on in different areas now because I don't want Juventus to pass us.
Fourth place, yeah. Because
fourth place, but I don't even want Juve to pass us. To be honest with you,
I'll stay humble. Fourth place and second place get you in the same door as that. If it was like 5, whatever it was, how many years ago when third and fourth went to the preliminaries, and it's a big deal because I said to myself, you know what? Why am I going to go third or fourth?
Yeah.
When I got to start the preparation now a month earlier because I got to do these preliminaries, which if I get a bad draw, maybe I don't even go to the groups. It's like this. Well, I remember when we used to do the preliminaries, we were happy because twice, 03 and 07, when we went there, when we won the Champions League, we went against Slovan Liberec in the preliminaries in 2003. And that's how we went to the groups. And in 2007, we beat Stella Rossa to go through the thing because we had all the points deduction because of Calciopoli. So we were one of those teams. So what I'm saying is a lot of people that we were going to buy were in limbo because they said, we have a transaction going, but it's not going to go through unless we make the Champions League. And that was at the end of August. And that was a pain in the ass because a lot of things were on hold. Still, now you could just go to the Champions League from fourth place on. As long as you go there, what is it? You're just bragging, but so you finish on top. It's like Inter saying, we finished a point behind Juve last year. Really? Okay, what do you got, 3/4 of Scudetto over here? I don't see a Scudetto. A point behind, 20 points behind. You won the Champions League?
I agree. I mean, to me, it's just personal preference. I'd like to finish above them for once in a decade. I'd like to finish above them if we can. If we can, of course, definitely top 4. But then my fear is that if we fall behind Juventus, that we're gonna slowly. That was my fear before this game. Now I've regained some confidence again. I think we'll beat Sampdoria. I think that'll be hopefully an easy win. And then I think week by week, hopefully we'll get everybody starting to come back. I'd like to see Mandzukic finally come back and play. I'd like to see him really. Now. That injury really, it's annoying because he was starting to get, back into forma, right? And then all of a sudden he had this this injury. So I hope that we can see something from him the next, 8-9 games, whenever he comes back. It would be awesome to see that, he scores 3-4 goals, and then we bring him back next year as a backup, just to have him off the bench. If we go to the Champions League, you need a player like that. Mandzukic is nice because, he's tall, and he's the type of guy, he could be a super sub type, right? He could come in, 75th minute, corner kick header, right? Peter Crouch style, right?
We haven't seen yet what he could do for us because
but I mean, we both followed his career, I was always a little bit jealous when
that's the only guy that Juve fans to this day was so mad that
I know.
The only guy they have lost the Piero, they have lost Zidane. And they have lost so many great players. The one that you always hear, at least lately, them cry about has always been Mandzukic.
That's interesting though, because you're right. I mean, I do remember that people, Del Piero, he's old, and it's time for him to retire, that kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's true, but still, I mean, I think Juve should have kept him until the last day, right? Yeah. Somehow, But I guess he wanted an opportunity to
leave. The difference between him and Totti is Totti didn't want to go and put a different shirt besides Roma. Del
Yeah.
Piero said, you know what, I'm not ready. I still want to play. I'm not ready to retire yet. So you guys want me to, you think you're going to retire me? He said, no, you know what? Screw you. I'm going to go still play. I'm going to quit on my own terms, which was bad because Juve likes to do stuff like that. Juve doesn't treat their stars. There are things, you know, Juve always says that we're above the, you know, it's not about the player, it's about the club.
Yeah, I've heard that bullshit before. Yeah, go fuck yourself. I know I've heard that one many times. But we talked about Del Piero for a second, and I just had a conversation with Rimoldi Ale earlier, and we both said this, and we've said it before. Franco said it too. Del Piero was one of my favorite. I don't necessarily advertise that I've had favorite Juventini, but he was probably my favorite Juventino because I don't consider Roberto Baggio that much a Juventino. To me, it's a gift to all Italians, right?
It was universal.
Exactly, he was a gift to all Italians, right? Kind of like Pelé for Brazilians, right? I mean, Baggio was unique, even though he did have his, the best years of his career with Juventus. To me, he was, kind of like almost agnostic, right? Played for many different teams, but Del Piero definitely, because he held himself differently than the other Juventini. Like I never liked Nedved. I just was never likable.
Del Piero carried himself.
He was a douchebag.
Yeah, but Del Piero carried himself like in such a great way.
Yep.
He was like a gentleman. You could never say anything bad about Del Piero.
Never.
No.
And it was always like with the World Cup and like the national team, he always had bad luck. And I always felt bad for him, right? Because I had this little soft spot for Del Piero. So that's why when he scored, obviously against Germany in the World Cup, that was a nice moment, right? And for him to win the World Cup, although Maldini didn't win the World Cup, Del Piero did. It's unfortunate, but still,
Maldini happened to just retire the World Cup before.
Kind of like Don Mattingly with the Yankees, right? A little baseball analogy that you'll appreciate, right?
Yeah. The moment Mattingly left is when the Yankees started the dynasty.
With Maldini, basically, right? Now Maldini retired when from the national team? What year was it?
2002. Right after that World Cup in Korea.
Yeah, so the last World Cup. When did he retire? When did Maldini retire? Now I don't even remember the year.
2000 and I want to say 9, 8.
Shit, so he played like 4 or 5 more years.
Because I have the shirt from the.
You have the. Well, you have the shirt.
I have the shirt from the Kaká wore that day.
Oh, that's awesome.
The day of his thing. So it says the thing on the bottom. I think it's 2000.
Speaking of shirts, I know this shirt. I'm very bad chronologically with like remembering what years shirts are. But what is this shirt here? Because I know this shirt very well.
Yeah, that we won probably the most fun Scudetto we ever won, 98, 99.
Okay, yeah. Is that Cafu or something? What was that?
No.
Whoa, beat off. Oh, I love
Cafu didn't come. Cafu didn't come until 2003, 2004.
I don't know why I thought that jersey looked familiar. Like
Cafu was around these years.
That's a nice jersey. Beat off, man. That's a sweet kit, man.
Yeah.
I loved him. He was great.
I feel like the guy never to see him score with his foot was like an anomaly.
Yeah, no, he was always a header. Yeah.
And you knew it. What's funny is everybody knew on every corner kick, just don't look at anybody else. Stay with Birov. And no matter what, he would always, no matter how many people he had on him, he would always score.
There was always those rumors that when he was playing with Udinese, I remember my dad talking about it once. They were trying to see if he would play for Italy because his mom's Italian.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people don't know that. I mean, his mom is Italian. Yeah. I'm almost 100% certain his mom or somebody in his family is Italian, but I think it's his mom. Anyway, they wanted him to play for Italy, but he was still like kind of holding up for Germany.
He started. I remember the Euro in '96. He basically won the Euro for them.
He did. But before that, he was not a known entity at all in Germany.
No.
Because he was playing for Udinese, and at the time, Udinese, we know in Italy, wasn't like dominant at all, right? So,
the glory was that year, was this year.
Yeah.
And that was it. I remember that goal against Perugia that solidified it.
Yeah.
He scored, then he scored, and that was it. That was. But if you ever watch the whole season, like they have like sometimes they have like a video, a celebratory video. You watch just that season was just perfect. That was a season where really anything happened because we had no business. If you look at until like maybe around this time now, like 10, 15 games left is when Milan started coming back and just went from. But you're talking about where You had Parma that was in the top 3 spots, Fiorentina, Lazio. Juve was nowhere to be found because Juve was down. Even
Yeah, that was one of those years where they were struggling. Yeah.
Inter too. Inter had Baggio, Vieri. No, I'm sorry, not Vieri. Baggio and Ronaldo. Vieri was on Lazio. But Lazio was that team. And I still think that Lazio team in the 90s was way better than the Roma team that won the Scudetto the afterwards.
I agree. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, just look at the starting lineup on that Lazio team, right?
It was great.
They had a great roster. It was the Cheedio jersey, right?
The Cirio, yeah.
Cheedio.
And we had Puma then too.
I remember one of my old bosses. He was talking about kits once, and he's like, he was English. I used to love that fucking Lazio kit. It said Cheerio. Cheerio. I'm like, yeah, that was from like the 90s, like the late 90s.
English people have a soft spot for Lazio.
Because of Gaza.
Because of Di Canio, because Di Canio has a strong tie to Lazio.
Yeah, Di Canio. Maniac.
Yeah,
No, he's a maniac, but I have a West Ham jersey of his. I'm gonna wear it one day.
That's very iconic because he was,
he's a controversial figure, and yeah, politically a little cuckoots, right? A little crazy, but I don't know. He's such an entertainer. Like the guy was that's why they loved him in England. Because in England, they love good soccer, but more than anything, like reality TV kind of started there. Like they love things like this, right? They love.
You remember the what's his fucking name? Eric Cantona.
Of course. Yeah, man, when he kicked the guy in the face. They love stuff like that.
They love stuff like that.
I mean, like, think about it. Like, Di Canio, when he was a coach of, what was that team he coached before he coached Sunderland? He coached, what the hell was the name of the team? Anyway, he coached a small, no, not Millwall. No, he would never coach. That Millwall fans would have never want him there because West Ham and Millwall hate each other. And I've been to the Den, as you know, in Millwall. Vito, who's here right now, he knows. That place is something else. That's a hell of a place to watch a match. Anyway, no, what did he coach? He coached some team. I forgot the name of them. Anyway, he punched one of the players.
Sheffield Wednesday or something like that.
He played for Sheffield, but he coached before he coached Sunderland. He coached somebody else. I don't remember the name. Somebody might remember and put it in the chat box. But he was just crazy. Like, and then when he went to Sunderland, it was even funnier because when they beat Newcastle in their derby, he's wearing like an Armani suit, and when they won the game, he slid from one side of the sideline to the other in this freaking suit, and like the Brits were like, can't believe it, you know what I mean? And he's like, he's wearing a 3,000-pound suit, and he's it was so funny.
Yeah, I remember that one time that I think somebody got hurt. Or something happened. He had a fair play. He took the ball. He literally.
Yeah. Of course, Swindon. That's it. Sorry, Vito just said it. Swindon. Yeah. It was a small club. Yeah, exactly. That actually, Harry Redknapp has got a great story about that, like the whole game itself. Because Di Canio was like, he had to get some sort of chemical imbalance. I don't know if he ever took any medication for it, but he definitely had something. Screw loose. So he was having one of those emotional games. Harry Redknapp was saying. And, that was one of the games where he fought with Frank Lampard to take a penalty. They literally physically fought to who would take the penalty. And then also what you just mentioned about the fair play moment, which was kind of came out of nowhere. Nobody expected Di Canio to be the one to do that.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I always liked him. He even played for us. I mean, I remember that was the year he was there.
You have a jersey of his?
Him, no. I've come across a few times, but because I had the same model, I decided not to get it. But there's been guys the one guy that actually I was looking forward to getting, even though I had the model. There's some guys that they're so obscure and they're so fascinating that I would love to have. Like Vierko Wood is one of them. I don't have it, but I always said if I ever come across it, I'll think about it.
If there was a defender you could clone. That's one of the top 5 defenders I would clone.
He was made of
physical presence.
He was made of stone.
His physical presence.
Yeah.
His dad was Russian from Russia, or was he from Belarus or something? Did you ever know that?
No, I mean the name obviously is different. But
yeah, I remember my dad telling me his father, somebody in his family was either Russian but back then when it was the Soviet Union, everybody would just say Russian. you know. But I don't know if he was Russian. That's one of those things that I remember my dad telling me, because I remember asking my dad, I'm like, what? Why is his last name Vierko?
Montolivo, you would never know because we always assume the last name. Montolivo's mother is German.
When he speaks fluent German.
Yeah.
He was one too. They said that he potentially could have played for Germany. I wish he would have. I was never. I was never a very big fan, as most of our friends know. Montolivo is probably one of the. He's definitely in the top 3 most hated Milan players for me. I never liked the guy ever.
But he was on Fiorentina was actually decent though.
He was. No, I mean, from a talent perspective, he was good, but I don't know. He just rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't like his demeanor. I didn't like the way he, kind of carried himself. There was rumors for me. With the nail in the coffin was the rumors that he was kind of like a snake in the clubhouse, and kind of reporting back to Galliani when Seedorf was the coach. Basically, Seedorf. The rumor is that Seedorf got fired because of some of the shit that Montolivo was telling him. The front office. Mm. So. Seedorf's one of my favorite players of all time. I started I don't know if I started it, but I was definitely one of the most active tweeters with Io sto con Seedorf back in the day on Twitter. I mean, I even freaking have a shirt with it. It says Io sto con Seedorf. We had shirts.
I kind of at this point. I mean, even though I would love to have legends to be around us, I felt like we needed to take a break. I'm kind of happy. I started hearing rumors when we were going to go for a new coach, or maybe Shevchenko.
I heard Shevchenko. I said no. Yeah, I agree.
Because I don't want to start hating these people. Like you're bringing out all these old legends of ours, and for what? You're going to make us fucking hate them. We have Brocchi don't consider a legend, but you have Brocchi come, you have Inzaghi, you have Seedorf, then you have Gattuso. I was like, what's next? Then they were talking about Nesta. Maybe Nesta, you give him a chance. So why? Just we needed them to be.
Out of those most recent legends, you bring up a good good conversation point. Out of those most recent legends, who would you say was now I'm not saying who was the most successful. Who would you say showed you the ability to be the best coach?
Out of our players?
Yeah, out of the players that coached us, right? All those players that you mentioned. Who showed you?
Only the Milan players you're talking about, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Because out of all those people that just coached us, I liked Sinisa the best.
Mihailovic, yeah. I think most people would agree with you there, right?
But as far as some players, maybe Seedorf.
Me too. Yeah, I was going to say Seedorf. What I find surprising, his career never really kind of took off after that, though.
maybe it was people, but people at the time, it wasn't for him. He needed to grow. I think it was too soon for a club like that, which is what Pirlo's going through.
Yeah.
Pirlo was supposed to be started the way they were going to start him in the under 23 team for Juve, not just in the Lions then like that. I mean,
I'm sorry, man. I don't see it overall with that guy. I just don't see it. I mean, I know he was an amazing, he was an amazing player. So obviously he commands a lot of respect just based on, his talents and what he did in his career. But to me, I don't know, man. I'm not saying that every coach needs to have a boisterous personality, but the guy's a fucking, he's like a fucking, like a mope. He just like, he doesn't inspire you.
His press conferences are the best because they'll see him and he'll be like this.
He looks so uninterested. Like he looks like he wants to be, in his vineyard, right?
Yeah, he goes, Il Porto giocato.
He's so weird. He's a weird guy, man. I don't know. He's tough to watch on the sidelines.
He's tough to watch, even though I have a beard. But the moment he put a beard on, that only happened with Juve because Milan he was always clean shaven. The moment he put a beard on, I feel like the beard
changed. Changed. He turned into. He looks like Charles Manson.
That was a shame, and I understand he felt disrespected by Milan in the sense that Milan gave up on him. And I'll be honest to you,
that was a big mistake. Well, we all know that was a big
mistake after the fact. That was one of the ones that said, you know what? He's not going to show nothing else. Tell him to go. What are you going to do? I'm not going to resign somebody. You saw it. You never thought he was going to be reborn like that. I don't care who you are. He was never going to be
I think it was the right move for both. because I think if he would have stayed with us, I still think he wouldn't have done like.
No, he wouldn't. Look what happened. And the thing that I thought was going to happen at Juve happened when he came to New York City. Literally, he did nothing in New York City.
Yeah, but it's also, I mean, he was playing on a freaking baseball field.
Well, if you're good, you could play on a fucking potato.
Yeah, I know. With the
no problem.
With the mound in the middle of the field. I mean, come on, the guy gets here. He's a freaking artist of football, and he shows up to freaking City Field. And he sees a pitch with a mound. This big. It looks like Nonno with Zappare la Yarda to get ready for the tomatoes. He's gonna plant the seeds. You imagine like being the first like Italian or European soccer player, and you go to City Field or any baseball stadium, and they want you to play there. It's terrible.
Well, Yankee Stadium, they play City Field.
What did I say? City Field? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Well, City. I say City Field because I saw. I've never seen.
Juventus.
I saw Juventus Club America. Yeah. My dad's a Juventino, so we took him, and
we went
the whole game. But the whole game was crooked because of the way the field was.
We said something.
I go to a chiropractor, man, the next day.
We said something so racist that day. We were in the right field. The right field, by the right field.
If it's about Mexicans, I'll give you a pass because I'm half.
No, I know. I have no problem. I have no shame saying it. At least I'm real. I say things what I gotta say. So I remember we went there. We're looking at it with all of my wife's family. We're like, not for nothing. It's like today, I guess no deliveries today. Everybody's here.
You fucking dick.
We're gonna go pizzerias and restaurant. I guess sure.
Yeah, I have a club. My family in Mexico, they're Club America. They're America fans. So I had my Club America jersey. I had an old school one, Saguinho. I don't know if you know who that was.
Yeah.
He was one of the best players. He was Mexican Brazilian. He played for
America. Club America jersey that I like. That I actually am after. I'm talking about like the 90s, like 90s.
Yeah, the cool with the globe. Yeah,
the globe. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, globe is. That's the one I have. So it doesn't fit me anymore, but it's his Sage on the back. Who was one of their best players in the 90s. He didn't play in that game. He was already retired.
But that game was predominantly the attendance was predominantly Mexican. Of course.
Also, City Field is right there. I mean, it's right on Roosevelt Avenue. So I mean, that's where it's a very large concentration of Mexican, Colombian, Ecuadorian, everything. Right. So it's I
went to Ecuador, Greece. They couldn't have put it on the perfect location. Ecuador,
Story Park.
Ecuador, Greece in City Field.
It would have been better at Story Park.
Yeah, imagine.
Frappe, metri, get a nice frappe, get a little kind of panacopita.
Opa.
Who won that game, Ecuador, Greece? I don't remember this game. What year was this?
2012, 13.
It's funny. All the exhibition matches that have come through, like, the tri-state area, all the different stadiums. It's fun stuff. But, back to Milan, I think we both, obviously were very happy with today's result. Obviously the comeback, we both, I think, admitted that we didn't think that we would prevail. I didn't think so. I thought that this is it. I started hearing your voice in my head a little bit. I'm like, this is where it kind of spins out of control, and Pioli ends up getting fired before the end of the season. Not that would happen, but I'm just saying that, I just started thinking this is, and ESPN actually fucked with us a little bit more with Pioli because they did a halftime special on Pioli's career.
Well, you saw it. It happened once or twice or three times. It happened a lot of times.
I know.
So you start going into your head. If you believe in the curse in the number 9, why wouldn't you believe in that? You understand?
When I saw that at halftime, I'm like, this is like a foreshadowing. That's it. This is the show.
And don't get me wrong. I thought in the beginning of the game, I always thought we were going to win.
Yeah.
But then the way everything unfolded, I said, shit. I was like, I guess it's like there's no way they come back from this, because now after you just lost 2 in a row, then it just starts coming into your head and it fucks with you. You say, you know what? It's tough. Sometimes, a lot of times, confidence does a lot to you. So you just lost 2 games in the span of 6 days. Now you're down again, away. You can't get out of your own way. You don't know what's wrong with you. It's tough to just get you out of the funk. But of all people who actually scored, tied, and won the game, two people that have probably been playing the shittiest for Milan.
Yeah.
But Brahim Diaz hasn't been.
No, he hasn't been impressive.
And Çalhanoğlu, what else could we say about Çalhanoğlu?
Yeah, we didn't really talk. It's funny, we didn't really talk about the players, the individual. I mean, we a little bit, but we didn't talk about like the individual goal scorers. Actually,
No,
you're right. But Çalhanoğlu, you know, I mean, Brahim has been a little bit of a disappointment. I was expecting more from him, you know, during this loan spell. So I mean, I'm sure he'll go back to Real. Çalhanoğlu, even after today, you know, we all joked a little bit in like, you know, our messages and WhatsApp and texts, but he still needs to go. I mean, I'm sorry, you know. 7 million. There's the asking he wants. I mean, he'd be lucky to get 2-3 million. Whatever he's at now, he should stay at, if anything.
Yeah. No.
He's a very frustrating player, and I've talked about it several times. My issue with him is that he's very mentally fragile, right? Kind of like a what's his name? Deschilio too was kind of the same way, right? These types of players that get rattled very easily. I don't want those kinds of personalities on the team. You know, listen. No offense to anybody that has, you know, this mental fragility. You know, I mean, it's something that you have to deal with. But when you're building a winning environment, you want players that are up here.
Exactly. You know, we're not trying to go to make 10 plays. If we're gonna make 10 plays every year, then we would have kept the Shia, we would have kept fucking Niang and all these players. You know what?
Hey. Niang 2.0 didn't play today, obviously, because he wasn't fit.
Yeah, but look, Brett the fresh air. I didn't curse as much.
So do you think that's it? You're done with him? You're officially done with Leao, right?
I'm not done with him, but he cannot be a starter. He's got to be on the bench.
And you think you should put him back on the wing, right?
And besides that, I want to see if there's interest in him, if people want him.
I think he'd go back to Portugal. I could see him also maybe getting some money from, getting some interest from England.
But I wouldn't mind. But I wouldn't mind though having him as a bench solution while you have a team in the champ. Because like I said,
yeah.
When you ask me how many people you think we should get this transfer window, honestly, for what we need, we probably need 10 solid new Z caliber people. You're not going to get 10. So you have to also keep certain people because you got to build depth in the system. So
yeah,
I would keep him because, who else do you have? Are you going to call back Mandzukic after this year? I don't know. If this continues, like he only plays 4 or 5 games unless he comes in on.
Oh, that's what I said earlier. If he comes in and he scores, 3-4 goals, 4 or 5 goals, helps us out to get to solidify CL, I would probably bring him back because I think it was a little bit unfortunate that he had this injury, right? Because I think that he showed, he played okay in was it 2 games that he played? Did he play? Yeah, right. He didn't look that bad.
You got to assume that Ibrahimovic, you got to always assume that he's going to be the bench player. Even though he's going to start most of the time, you got to assume he's not going to play 30, 40 games a year.
No way.
So you got to always get a player. Yes, you have Rebic, but Rebic is not enough.
Vito made a good point here. That's true. Mansuki. He it sounds like a Japanese guy's name. Mansuki.
Like that, right?
What? Yeah, and of course I know why. The freaking guy that was at the Club America game with me.
Yeah.
that guy was definitely there wearing his Juventus jersey. Skin tight with the freaking love handles and stuff. He was definitely there, that guy. But apparently I didn't realize that it auto renews if we make CL. So he's got incentive to score those 4 or 5 goals that I was talking about.
So I wouldn't mind having him. It just it all depends. I guess if he stays healthy, maybe he needed this. Maybe it was always going to be a situation because everybody said it. He's been gone. He hasn't been playing like over a year.
Yeah.
Because of COVID.
That's why it was so unfortunate because he was, it wasn't really just a matter of not being in forma, right? It was more so this unlucky situation that caused him to be out, right?
Yeah. Speaking of players that we may get, you saw that they showed Ibra's picture, him signing his jersey to Vlahovic.
Yeah, I saw that.
Vlahovic has been linked.
You like him. I know you like him.
I like him.
Oscar also really likes him too. He's a good player.
Yeah, listen, we could all the help we could get. because I'm sure we're not going to get the players that we want. You got to get somebody. And Vlahovic is not enough either. Vlahovic is going to be a player that, I mean, I always liked Milinkovic-Savic. Always liked them, but 120 million. Tell Lotito to go scratch.
Yeah, he's crazy. No way. Vito said the Mandzukic will be back. That would be nice poetic justice.
Oh yeah. Well,
not for him,
it
but
works
for us.
out like that for us every time.
What's that?
So it always works out like that for us. That
it does.
Would happen. Look at Bonucci. Bonucci actually scored the temporary tying goal against Juve.
Yeah, this is why he's. I saw that the other day. I don't know where it came up. I didn't look it up. Somebody shared it on Instagram. When he celebrated that goal too. What a piece of shit. He's such a piece of shit.
He was so bitter.
I know, but then he goes back and he talks bad about us. He's such a piece of shit. Yeah. Talk about being fooled.
Yeah, he scored anyone like this.
He fooled me. He fooled me, man. Yeah, he had me fooled. I was this close to buying his jersey. I
got two of them.
Wait, I didn't know that. You did? Well, I didn't know. I didn't know you did. I'm sorry. I feel bad. Yeah. Well, you got worse. You have the worst one. The worst match. The worst match worn one. You told me already. For Milan, the freaking Croatian guy. The other Croatian forward.
Oh, Kalinic. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder though. Is it really Kalinic the worst one? Because
I don't know. I think I asked you this question, and you said Kalinic.
I think it may be Kalinic. Yeah.
You said this. You said Kalinic.
Yeah.
Match worn.
Yeah, because Lapadula, I think I actually like Lapadula a little bit better than Kalinic.
I mean, Lapadula was a good good guy. Worked hard, kind of like underdog, right?
Did he get hurt? He disappeared again.
Yeah, I think he got hurt.
He got hurt probably. I haven't heard of his name.
I'm not doing Fantacalcio this year, so I don't really know what's going on with some of the other players. And some of the more obscure names that I don't really pay attention to on a regular basis. But I think he was injured. I
mean, Scamacca was doing good for Genoa.
Yeah.
And Scamacca was one of the guys that were linked in January to come.
Yeah, I know. I remember seeing that.
A bunch of guys. There was a bunch of guys.
It's going to be an interesting summer. I think we're going to. I think we'll prevail and make the Champions League. I don't know where we'll finish, but I think we will. And it's going to be interesting to see what Elliott does. If this is going to be, if we make the CL officially, will they sell us over the summer, or will they wait? It's kind of wait in progress. We'll see. But I think that I think we will. Today was a huge win. Let's hope we keep the momentum going against Sampdoria. When's that game now? Because we have the
April 3rd.
When's the Nazionale play? I haven't been paying attention.
We have 3 games to play, so it's gonna be. And I'll tell you right now, because we're gonna try to have shows after every game if it's possible. Because you guys think I'm a big Milan fan. I'm an even bigger Nazionale.
I know you said that. Yeah, I mean
So okay, we play.
Okay with you too.
This Thursday we play in the Northern Ireland. Then we play in Bulgaria on Sunday.
Ooh.
We play in Lithuania on Wednesday, March 31st. Okay. Those are the 3 games. And that's already all 3 World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah.
So let's get 9 points. No injuries, please, for nobody, because we have the Euros. Bro, I just realized this World Cup qualifying. I mean, it started now, even before Euro, which is weird. It usually starts.
That's so weird. That's why when you said World Cup qualifiers, I was trying to remember.
Don't forget, if you really think about it, the World Cup is next year.
I know. That's why in my
head.
It's
not going to be in the summer. It's going to be in November, that's going to be another crazy thing. Would you imagine between Thanksgiving and Christmas is when the World Cup is going to be going around?
It is going to be weird. I'm happy that it's only hopefully going to be this one time, but it's kind of cool in a way. I think it's kind of unique. It's unique.
7 days before Christmas Day is the final of the World Cup.
That's cool. I mean, listen, whatever. I mean, I'm open to having it happen at least once, and it'll be interesting, right? I mean, we were also used to in the Northern Hemisphere, barbecuing and watching the game. But actually, I'll probably be barbecuing here in Atlanta. You guys will be freezing your balls off up there. Yeah. I think on that note, hold on. Let's just read some comments because we're going on an hour and 5. You and I could talk for 2 hours, no problem. Yeah, I didn't even realize Oscar never showed up either. Let's see. Maurizio said there was a 3-minute low light compilation video of all the Kalinic missed that season. You should wear for Maurizio. You should wear the Kalinic jersey next
time I'll wear it, because for me actually that's what one of the best third jerseys that we had. That was the last year of Adidas.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful jersey. I know it's jersey.
All 3 years we had. You know what? Let me just bring it up because I'm not. I don't know if I want. I don't know if I have
the archives.
I don't know if I have the post.
You wearing pants? What are you wearing? I hope you're wearing pants.
No, I'm wearing shorts.
Okay. Yellow shorts. What is this, Jorge Campos shorts?
No, those are Milan. When Milan had.
Those are.
When Milan had the green jersey.
Yeah, I know those shorts. I mean, I saw the top. I didn't see the.
No.
Those are cool, man.
Oh no, let me see.
Oh boy, here we go. Live TV, guys. This is live. He's going through the closet. I hope no mothballs come out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right.
Is that what Jimmy Hoffesberg? Oh, then that's a beautiful jersey. That's one of my favorite third jerseys.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, I don't have it. Actually, now you prompted me. Now I think I'm gonna go look for it. Not this fucking one, but.
Imagine,
unbelievable.
We know who wore this number. And we say
retired that number. So this
Donadoni, Shevchenko, even Di Canio wore this, and he was a little bit more stand-up of a guy. This asshole wore one. I mean, now there's another asshole.
My favorite number too. Seven's my. I told you 17, 7. That's those are my favorite numbers, and the fact that guy wore that. I didn't even know he wore the number 7. I forgot.
I mean, from that year, I got Cutrone, Çalhanoğlu.
The only thing I feel bad about with Kalinic is that he actually grew up an AC Milan fan, so I think he really wanted.
I feel like all the Croatians did.
Yeah, most of them did. Yeah, no, most of them did. You're right. It's true. Even like Rebic? Rebic was a Milan fan growing up.
You know what it is? All these people grew up in the 90s.
Yeah, they idolized Boban. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boban was the best.
Boban was the best. Oh yeah, they love Boban.
Zorro. Yeah, so I think we should wrap it up, man. Any final thoughts? Going into the national team kind of hiatus for a little bit, and then Sampdoria.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing the national team. We haven't seen them in a while. I want to see what this team is going to look like for the Euro Cup is in 2 months.
Oh, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, after these 3 games, there's the Euro Cup.
Yeah, I know.
I want to see what this team looks like. You know what? I understand it looks like a burden to have the national team. I've said it with Ibra, this and that, but when it comes to our national team, I want them to do good. Hopefully, I just want.
Especially after the last few tournaments.
Yeah, I just want them to come back. Everybody healthy. Nobody gets hurt unless they play for Inter or Juve.
Well, there's not that many on Inter. There are not that many on Inter. So.
Yeah, and unless they wear the national team jersey, because Calabria getting hurt is a big blow even for the national team. And like a guy like Barella, as much as I don't like Inter, a guy like that in the Euros, you need him.
It makes a difference.
Oh yeah, so you want everybody to be good. You want Kessie. I don't know if Kessie's. I'm sure he's going to be going with the Ivory Coast.
Oh, of course, without a doubt.
Hopefully he doesn't get hurt. This fucking guy really showed up now.
Goes up at the end. We got it. All right, guys. It was great seeing everybody.
We'll see you.